I thank you all for the opportunity to be here tonight. Thank you for hosting this forum. And thank you for providing the opportunity for me to be here to talk about issues that are certainly pertinent to you and issues that are pertinent to us as Americans in our great nation. You know, we stand right now at the great crossroad. And the decisions that we make really are held in our hands and are going to be held by the votes that we cast come this November, which will set a course for this nation not only for the next few years, but for decades to come. And that will impact on each of us in this room tonight, on our friends, our families, our neighbors. It will impact on our children and our children's children. You know, if we all believe in those 9 principles and the 12 values that serve as the foundation building blocks for the 9/12 organization, then it's important which the 2 of those, or the 2 greatest of those really, is number 1, that America is good, and that 2, that we believe in God, and that God is the center of our lives. Then it's important that we elect leadership to the U.S. Congress that embodies those ideologies, that those individuals will serve with integrity, with honor, and with courage. You know, America deserves good leadership, and it deserves leadership today more than ever that serves with a passion, or rather has a passion to serve, that has the knowledge and the experience to deal with those issues that are so critical to our nation and its vitality and viability. And that has strategic vision to clearly see through a lot of the issues there and find those pathways that will help guide us to a greater tomorrow. For myself, as a general who served in the United States Army, having entered as a private, having had the privilege of rising to the rank of general after 20 years of my commission service, I've had the honor of serving in peacetime, as well as having led some of America's greatest Americans in combat during wartime. And unfortunately had the sad part of actually holding some of my soldiers who gave the ultimate sacrifice because they believed in the goodness of our great nation and believed in the freedoms that we have. I've had the opportunity to make those tough decisions. As a mayor, I've had the privilege of writing a balanced budget and actually being responsible for ensuring that the monies that we had from the taxpayers, we were good stewards of. As council members and as legislators, we get to tweak the budget with our amendments, but when you're sitting there with pen in hand and actually writing and understanding what those long-term ramifications are, it takes on a whole new meaning. Having been the only mayor in the city that I represented to ever roll back taxes, I proved that government can do more with less, and that we can be good stewards, and that we can be transparent, and having fought for those issues that I believe are very important. And because of that, I had the privilege of being elected 4 terms to my office, and on the 5th time, I ran for the county council, and won that position with 65% of the vote for my constituency because of the track record we have. As a member of the state legislature and as a county council member, I have the opportunity to look at our state from local as well as the state. And as an elected back in Congress, we'll have a clear understanding of the decisions we make back in the other DC will have great impacts, and what those impacts will be on our state, what they'll be on our communities, and what they will also be on us as individual citizens. As an educator, I've had the opportunity to teach in the classroom, to serve as a university president, and as a board chair. And I've had that privilege of seeing students who matriculate from high school and end up in the classroom and not prepared to face the rigors of a college life and a college education. When we have 1/4 of our students who don't graduate from high school, and 50% of those who graduate from high school fail to go on to a higher education, when we see that we have 50% of those who enter college fail to complete, and when we have 3/4 of our students who graduate cannot find work because their skill sets are mismatched for the workforce of the 21st century, we have an issue. when we have teachers who can't teach because they don't have the skills or whatever the challenge is, but administrators cannot take them out of the classroom because they're protected by organized associations. And we're doing this at the expense of our students, our children. I have a problem. When we spend so much money on bureaucracy back in D.C., $1.77 billion to be exact, on 4,279 employees in the Department of Health, and yet we're not resourcing our schools at the local level, and we don't see education as a priority, I have a problem. When we look at how we're displacing students today in exchange for students that come from abroad, who are the competitors for our future workforce, I have a problem with that. As a physician and a humanitarian, I've had the opportunity to work in public practice as well as private practice. I've had the opportunity to serve the poor in Pierce County in Haiti, for most of you who know that I have a mission down there, as well as in other remote parts of the world. And I've had an opportunity to look at our healthcare system, not only as a practitioner, but as an administrator, a health policy maker. I understand that we have our challenges, and we know what those challenges are. When we live in the greatest nation ever conceived, and when we have citizens who can't access our healthcare delivery system, yet we're spending more money than any other nation, except for one, and we're number 2 in the world for cost of healthcare per GDP, number 38 in the world for the delivery of healthcare. And when you look at how we stack up, we're right behind Costa Rica and just ahead of Cuba and Slovenia. I have an issue. When families, working families, cannot access or get healthcare coverage because now, under Obamacare, it is cheaper for companies to pay the fine than to provide health care, I have a problem with that. And when our elderly cannot get health care they need, I have an issue with that. As a husband and a father, I've been extremely blessed to have been married to my wife for 35 years. I don't know how she tolerated that. But Martha is here, if you'd raise your hand. She's amazing. Been privileged to be, and together we have 3 children, and we're proud of all of them, but my son in particular, who's a lieutenant serving in Afghanistan, who is likewise a combat veteran, has earned his stripes, having been wounded in action, and received his Purple Heart while he was there, learned the hard way the price that we must sometimes be willing to step up and pay to enjoy those freedoms that we have as Americans. Serving in Congress is not an issue about me, it's an issue about we. It is a team sport. And it's about working with those we serve and serving those who give us the privilege to serve as electeds in whatever positions we happen to hold. And that is a sacred bond. And that should be honored at all times. You know, the message that I need and want to take to Washington is that we don't need more government. We don't need more taxes. We don't need more bureaucracy. What we really need to do to get the nation moving in the direction that it needs to move is that we focus on the people and start putting aside some of the issues that allow us from being successful. In order for me to do that, I need you. I need all of you. I need your support. I need your help. And I need your vote, and I'm asking for that tonight. And I thank you again. And for those who didn't catch it in the beginning, I am Stan Flemming. I'm a candidate for the 10th Congressional District, and I thank you all.